Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is November 17th, 2021, and I'm doing a check-in to talk about the eclipses. We are now definitely in eclipse season. I'm sure many of you are feeling the emotional intensity, the immense change that is occurring in many different areas of our lives and on the world stage, but definitely in our own lives, and just the heaviness. It's pretty intense. And Scorpio's season is always really emotionally intense. And currently, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all transiting in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And the Sun will be there until November 21st. It's then going to enter the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, more levity and optimism, but we're still in the very, very heavy energy of the eclipses. And today, Mars, which rules Scorpio in ancient astrology and rules the cardinal fire sign of Aries in modern, is currently opposite Uranus. And this can bring unexpected accidents. Conceivably, accidents are generally unexpected. It can bring a volatility. People can get angry or irritated very quickly and in a very reactive fashion. It can be innovative energy, but when it's in opposition, it's not an easy one. And what's happening is we had a new moon on November 4th, which officially started the eclipse season. That was at 12 degrees and 40 minutes of Scorpio in opposition to Uranus. Uranus is the planet of brilliance, but also of chaos and surprise and the unexpected. Kind of like eclipse season that we're in now, eclipses are like wild cards. You know, a lot's going to happen in a short period of time. There's a pressured sense. They bring very fated events. The nodes of fate, the nodes of the moon are always within 19 degrees of the new moon or the full moon, and both the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse are like a full moon or a new moon on steroids. They're very intensified. And in the case of today, as I speak, now we have a third hit to Uranus. First, the new moon opposed Uranus on November 4th. Then over the weekend on November 13th, Mercury, the planet of communication, transiting in the murky waters of Scorpio, giving unexpected information, could be illuminating, can be enlightening, could bring positive new beginnings, but a lot with communication and information over this past weekend. Now, Mars, which is the planet of action and anger and passion, opposing Uranus. They did so at 12:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. That can definitely bring arguments and combative energy. Maybe it's bringing big change in a very quick and rapid manner, which eclipse season does anyway. The lunar eclipse is going to occur on November 19th at 2:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I believe that's the time. I have so many times in my head, but it's definitely happening on November 19th, and it's going to be at 27 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed earth sign of Taurus. Taurus is a sign that likes stability and groundedness. It's a sign of resources. It's the most creative of the earth signs. It's fixed. There's a lot of fixed energy. And Uranus, which rules the sign of Aquarius in modern astrology and has been a key player. Again, the new moon opposed Uranus. Mercury, communication and information, opposed Uranus. And now Mars opposing Uranus, bringing chaos and the unexpected in a very turbulent time, because eclipse season is rocking and rolling And often people have trouble sleeping. There can be just things happen out of the blue, particularly when planets are making aspects to Uranus. And that is very strong right now for all of us. It can be very liberating. Uranus represents freedom as well. Maybe there's been something that you've been stuck in, and I use that word intentionally actually because there is so much fixed energy. And I will list what the fixed signs, what planets are in fixed signs. So right now, the sun is transiting in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. Mercury, the planet of communication and information, in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. Mars, planet of action and ire and passion, in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. The sun will change signs on November 21st, 2 days after the eclipse. On the date of the eclipse, the full moon will be at 27 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed earth sign of Taurus. And then, let's see, that full moon squares Jupiter, the planet of abundance, expansion, and higher wisdom, which is transiting in the fixed air sign of Aquarius. Saturn, which is how we anchor our goals and is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, is at 7 degrees of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. It's a lot of fixed energy. So while on one hand, it's like a roller coaster of change plans, things happening out of the blue. One thing falls through and then something else comes through quickly. And yet fixed energy, having trouble getting things done. I have been trying for a couple of weeks to write a really big article on the eclipses, and I will still deliver. Doesn't look like the eclipse article will be the day before or the day of the lunar eclipse, which is on November 19th, because I have been on that cosmic cyclone and that roller coaster with my ideas and my life and plans and work and everything going in different directions. But luckily I've accrued some good ideas at this point. Use the innovation of Aquarius. Be happy that you don't have a lot of Aquarius in your chart. And I'm joking because some of you may. But it's brilliant. It's innovative, but it is very, it's not stable. And yet we've got a full moon wanting us to be stable. I know a Taurus, and I've mentioned him many times. I actually did a small video with him. He's 94. He's a Taurus, and his nickname at the prime of his career was Instant Chaos. Not easy for a Taurus that likes to have things, steady and secure, but great for a creative mind because often people do thrive on chaos. Not the most fun way to thrive, but it can bring excellent ideas. The adrenaline can be very creative and innovative when you have no other choice. With that said, we don't want to feel that energy and know that there are going to be a lot of major endings. We are now embarking on the eclipses in the Taurus Scorpio axis. We have a final eclipse in the Sagittarius Gemini axis that occurs on December 4th at 12 degrees and 22 minutes of the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. And actually the lunar eclipse on November 19th is at 3:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because the solar eclipse on December 4th will be at 2:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so with all of that, eclipses always come in pairs. The full moon is a release, what you need to let go of. Scorpio season, dig in deeply. What's holding you from intimacy? What's holding you from passion? What's blocking your ability to repair your finances and your debt and your credit? And we each, there's collective loss. And Pluto, which is the modern ruler of Scorpio, was at the world axis in 2019 and 2020. And it's a key player now too. It's Venus is retrograde, or it's about to retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. It entered Capricorn on the day after the new moon on November 5th, and it will remain in the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn until March 6th of 2022. That's a sign of status and accomplishment, and it traces where Saturn was on and off in 2019 and 2020, but also where it was even going back as far as the very end of 18, early 19, because Venus will station direct on January 29th at 11 degrees and 4 minutes of Capricorn, and that goes as far back as the very end of 18, early 2019. And Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn in modern astrology. It's the planet of karma. It's the planet of accountability and responsibility. If you weren't able to achieve within the limitations of the epic of Capricorn, and not many of us were, it was a very difficult time, what can you do now to bring more value to your life, to increase your own value, to find love and happiness in a time of a lot of loss, and retracing what you were working on prior to the pandemic, because it's not just limited to the time. Saturn got to 20 degrees of Capricorn in 2019, but Pluto, well, where Venus stations retrograde, Saturn got to that degree approximately the end of February, early March, March 4th of 2020, and then cleared that degree on November 4th of 2020. So there's a lot to reevaluate. Eclipses are going to knock things out. Maybe it's something you haven't dealt with. It's going to get eclipsed out of your life. Sometimes it happens in a very shocking way. Eclipses are wild cards. They're very powerful tools to bring awakening and enlightenment in our lives, and they shake us up when we've been resistant. And again, we have so much fixed energy. Many of us will be stubborn, but that means they're going to be thrown out in an even more probably dramatic way. But it's also exciting. In the eclipse chart for the lunar eclipse, I cast it for Washington, D.C. Venus is the ruler because it is Libra rising. Venus is now out of bounds, which means it exceeds 23 degrees and 27 minutes north or south of the equator, and it acts erratic and unpredictable, just like everything else right now, but it can be very creative. Venus is going to retrograde on December 19th. It will meet up with Pluto, the planet of death and regeneration, on December 11th, on December 25th, and on March 2nd of 2022. Eliminating what's keeping you from what makes you happy, dealing with healing and loss on a collective and individual level in a very difficult time in history, but trying to find a way to find joy again. Jupiter will only be in Aquarius until December 28th, so we're almost done with that tale, and then it's going to be transiting in Pisces on and off in 2022. So a lot of fixed energy. It's good for sticking with projects, with committing, with being loyal, with following through, with having the courage not to give up when a lot of things do not go as you would like them to. Whether you're working all night on a computer or a tech project and you lose all your work, or many other things that can arise and can happen. So this week, highly intense. Could definitely get unexpected news. Probably already has happened in the last couple of weeks, if it hasn't already. And try to find some kind of a ritual to figure out what you want to purge from your life on November 19th. That is the longest eclipse There was an eclipse that was a bit longer in February 18th of 1440, and now this eclipse will be 3 hours and 28 minutes, and it is conjunct the south node of Karma. The moon will be at 27 degrees of Taurus, and it is conjunct the north node in Gemini, out of sign but close, and the sun in Scorpio is conjunct the south node of Karma in Sag. Out of sign, but they're close in degree. It's almost a total lunar eclipse, very close to being it. But that's when the Earth's shadow blocks the sun's light, which usually reflects off of the moon. But the moon is not completely immersed in the Earth's shadow, but it is definitely bringing many things to light. What do you want to let go of? Burn sage, burn Palo Santo, dance naked, do whatever you need to do. Cleanse your crystals. Try to put them in the moonlight if you're able, or use sea salt, or go to the ocean if you're able and scoop them up and put them in the ocean water. Do something to get rid of the negativity. Fill up a big bowl of salt. You can put it up in a corner that you work near, or that you're in a lot in your house, or in the relationship corner, the far right corner, the money corner, the far left. Wish you a lot of luck. The energy is all over the place, but I will still write that article. I just want to do a really good job with it, and I think this is a good way to get there. So good luck, everybody, and take care. All right, thanks.